Hi, welcome to another episode of Sketchman Draws. This is Boris. So before we start, I would just like to invite you to check out my Instagram account. Of course, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't to stay updated on the videos. Sketchman_Boris is the Instagram account where I post all my random illustrations and illustrations related to tutorials, and Comics by Boris is the Instagram account where I post my comic strips. So let's get on with the topic at hand, which is how to draw cute characters. So I just put here some random characters that I found on Pinterest, and just to sort of find some patterns that we can work from. So of course, so what we notice is like big eyes is a big part of, but ultimately I think what stands out is the fact that our inner ability to care for children is what makes us see something as cute. So of course childlike proportions, childlike features are very important, but at the same time there's another layer which is like, of course, which we'll not cover in this one, which is color, and but also another layer which is personality, like that cluelessness, expression of cluelessness, like that they're so clueless of how adorable they are that we love them for it. And so here, for example, if you look at Powerpuff Girls, clearly like the head is as big, sometimes if not bigger than the body. You have the big eyes, but it's not a requirement. And for example, you have different variations on that. You can also have like objects like this which are adorable, like for example that crocodile, which is something like one of the most scariest predators on earth, turned into a really goofy, really adorable character. And another thing that I would keep in mind is the roundness of the shape. Like we rarely find something very sharp. So I think that's another thing which removes that threatening aspect of the character, especially if you're drawing an animal, like, you know, same thing, like the musculature and so on that we will look at. Like we will try to streamline all that in order to achieve what we want, which is to draw cute characters. And ultimately what we will keep in mind is, of course, a child, right? Like a childlike features, childlike proportions. So just a quick checklist. So childlike features, childlike proportions, rounded shapes, forms, no sharp edges, and this cluelessness, clueless expression. And of course, one thing that I didn't put here, which should be part of any drawing, but especially this one, is the aspect to play around with different things, experiment, like feel free to change things, as long as it doesn't break completely the reference picture that you're drawing from. So here I've taken a deer, and so by the way, these are not random animals. Actually, I like to repeat that these are from weekly art workshops that I do on Zoom. It's free, it's online, so you can check out the link to the meetup group in the description. So again, I'm just like sort of breaking down every major body part with some shape that I find really pleasing. And here, for example, I know that we love when we find it really adorable when dogs put their ears back, so I'm working with that. I'm trying that. So for the antlers, I tried this first, which sort of duplicates what the reference picture is showing, but I thought it would be even like more cuter and adorable if actually the antlers, if I'm not mistaken, is how they call them, follow the same direction as the ears. Maybe they don't necessarily move like the ears, but I think it gives a little bit more that sort of adorable quality, innocent quality. So for the nose, like you can see, like there's a little bit of highlight in the picture, so we can accomplish that by leaving like a little bit of negative space on the nose. That will look like it's a wet nose or a wet surface. So for the eyes, I think everybody is familiar, maybe because most of us grew up on Disney cartoons. with the egg-shaped eye, which I think is the most common one used for cartoon characters. For people who grew up in Asia, maybe had some anime influence, so maybe the eyes will be a little bit more detailed with the iris and like this. So for example, again, I let that negative space to create the illusion of a highlight. And for the human characters, which we will be talking about later, I think, like Disney also uses this sort of shape that is closer to reality. And of course you can also have really simple like a upper lid, like a line representing upper lid and a dot. For example, Winnie the Pooh, you don't see the eyes in his, like the white of his eyes, but it still works. And actually we also saw that in the example of the banana we saw in the in our examples in the beginning. So I'm just going with the egg shape and of course leaving some area there, again to give that like sort of like clueless expression. So I'll do 2 more illustrations, but I'm just working with different aspects of the elements that we saw, or what makes a character cute. So here again another animal which was suggested during the art workshop was a fox. So I just took a random picture and I started breaking down what the face looks like, and it looks like a square with a top, almost like when you draw like a house. You remember when you drew houses as a kid? And then I add on the ears, and so I'm just like trying to figure out like, okay, if it works for me, like so I'm just putting the sort of the rough outline of all the body parts. For the moment I'm not worrying about texture, I'm not worrying about details. I just look past all that to see if it, so again here I'm still experimenting, I can still make mistakes, I'm still allowed to change things. And so once I have that, I think I want to give this fluffy feeling, so I think I'm going to break that straight line and create these sort of fur-like lines. As a matter of fact, you can check out my video on how to draw cats, dogs and birds. You can, if you want to have some more details about drawing fur. Same thing for the ear, or the ears, because there are 2. So again, I'm still keeping in mind all those points or the principles that we saw in the beginning. Like again, no sharp shapes unless you want to make a character evil. Like you can bring in some sharp shapes that emphasize the threatening nature. So for the nose here, I'm doing the same thing I did with the deer, which is leave that negative space to sort of create the illusion of highlight. And as you can see on the top of the head, I just felt that maybe if I round it up a little bit, it will contribute to the cuteness of the character. So and again, I'm not forcing the big eyes because I think it's not automatically the thing that makes characters cute. I think you need to also have some features that allow you to recognize it as the animal that you're trying to draw from. And of course here, like I said, I'm not going to color, but you can always color and experiment with that too. So the last animal which was suggested was a phoenix. So I think I'll just choose like a random picture of phoenix, and okay, I just said to myself, okay, let's play with this. I think I'm going to also, so for example, if I looked at the different elements that I can bring in and sort of suggest that it's a phoenix, for example, like the hair, or I don't know if I can call it hair, but like the feathers there on the back of the head. I'm just changing that into this like hairstyle. which again, I like that shape, like that rounded shape, like that goes from small to big, and it's like there's something really pleasing about that. And I'm just pushing like some random like reversed U shape to sort of create the face. And again, instead of avoiding all the sharp edges, I'm just putting like the round shapes in. And actually I really like where this was going, so I just continued adding the details. And just to make it really, really ridiculous, I just gave him really small wings. You know, like taking the characteristic of that majestic pose, but then like turning it on its head a little bit, but for the purpose of fun and for the purpose of keeping the character cool, cute and cool. I just gave him that long tail, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe we can add some other details. So I just thought, okay, let's give him some slippers. It's just a thought that came to mind and then applied. So again, yeah, so just experiment. I'll maybe do more during live drawing sessions. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to find you in another video. And this is Boris for Sketchman Draws, signing off.